All right, Alpha fam, let's do a quick market update. So today's a very critical day for us in the market. All right. I am going to be honest with you guys. I was expecting us to get a little bit higher price action over the weekend. And last night we were making a good move up. And you can see this is like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Honestly, I woke up about 4 o'clock in the morning was seeing this. I thought we were going to continue moving up. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, this push down happened again. Bears are in control of this market right now, guys. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that I'm concerned with. The main one, more than anything, is this. When we look at this right here, guys, and we're taking a look at this, this is the first time this bull run we've ever had a potential close below the 50. With that being said, if this does close below the 50, doesn't mean the bull run's cooked. And somebody made a good point to me the other day, and they said, well, we closed below the 50 here and we opened up the next week, and he's like, and this is a good point, and the bull run did not in fact end. So this is one of the times that we can say that we had, and you can see it was real nasty during this period of time right here, guys. The market was pulled back down really, really aggressively. I think that's when Tesla decided to sell their Bitcoin or something. There was something going on then. But then you can see we had a daily close below the 50-day EMA on the weekly, and we were able to recover and make new all-time highs. So we have had this situation happen one time prior, which is something that I am watching. Another thing that I am also watching and observing is this. So I'm just going to give you some scenarios. So let's go on the 4-hour. This 4-hour right here looks like a base. That's what this looks like to me. It looks like we're creating a base. And these bases, and you can see how we created one. Sorry about that. Let's go over here. We can see how we created one over here. And these bases usually come before new moves. So you can see how we made a base here, where it was like literally price action was just flat. Once the drop happened, we had about 2-3 days of just sideways action after the pullback happened. That's exactly, and then you can see it right here, where it just, the pullback happened, it found a local bottom, it basically created a mini range right here, and then from there, it pushed up. That's what this does look like it's doing now. I also know Michael Saylor is in the process of making some big Bitcoin purchases this weekend, which is probably what caused a lot of this reaction. But according to what was told, he was going to be buying a substantial amount. Michael Saylor, and a lot of the FUD that happened on Friday, which is the reason we pulled back, was because people were lying saying Michael Saylor was selling this Bitcoin. He wasn't. He was just moving it from one wallet to another one. Arkham actually had it incorrect, which is also a little concerning when you use Arkham like I do for research. If they're giving out bad data, that can be a problem. With that being said, I also don't think if we do break below this 50-day, what does that mean? Well, there's a couple scenarios. One, I think this area right here is going to get hit. And when that happens, I think the 50-day is going to flip. This is going to come down, and then we're going to bounce into this. Typically, this is a golden cross, death cross. We haven't talked about this in a while. But we can see how we print golden crosses. Death crosses, they usually mark local bottoms. All right. And then they usually pull up into the 200-day. All right. That's usually what happens. All right. With that being said, it looks like this is just marking the local bottom. From that local bottom, hopefully now we can get a move back to the upside. All right. And what I'm thinking is we have to at least come back up and retest this 200-day EMA like we did right here. You can see how we've been basically using it as resistance. So as this comes down, we reject and then go down. What that means for alts is this. Most alts will act in a similar fashion, all right? Which means they're going to come down most likely to their last place that they were consolidating. They're going to make a death cross, like this is Ethereum, it'll make its death cross. The 200-day will then start coming over and down. And then as Ethereum comes down into this zone, it's going to bounce out and retest this. So what is the strategy? Well, exiting our bags at current levels and then trying to buy on that bounce and then taking advantage of that relief rally is the way that we're going to be able to at least recoup some of the losses that we have. Everybody's at different parts. Like, I've been doing this for a year, so everybody's at different places. I've got guys that have been in the market since last November that's been upside down, that are still super down on their bags. I've got newer guys that just came in the last couple of months, and their bags are just they're barely in the red. They might be down a little bit, but it's only a couple day pump away from being back to normal. Then I've got some guys that are in profit. Everybody's at different places. So I think this kind of flat, and again, I can never give anybody financial advice. I'm just explaining to you what I'm going to be doing. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be selling my bags. I'm not going to probably do it today. I'm not going to panic and just sell if I see the daily close under this. I'm going to give it a little bit of time, and I'm going to watch this because I know how these markets work, guys. So I understand that if this is the bottom and we do close and we are going to a bear, most likely from today on, we're going to start our relief rally, guys. All right. There is also the chance that if we don't start the relief rally, it will want to come up a little bit higher before dropping further. And then when we see this rejection, that's when I'll look to exit, so I can at least sell it for a little bit higher than what it is now. And then from there, I will catch the bounce, because I'm 50-50. I have some positions that are down. I have some positions that are in profit. So with that being said, do I think the bull run's over? Well, I think this part of the move is over, yes. And essentially what could be happening, guys, is because Bitcoin is not like it was back in 2021. There's institutional demand. There's just people that aren't going to sell. There's a floor on this thing. So what could be happening is we could be creating this really big range for Bitcoin right now. This is its range bottom. This is its range high. And this is its mid-range. All right? And Bitcoin has these three ranges it's bouncing in between of. What Bitcoin could in fact be doing right now is just be wanting to come back down and revisit the bottom of its range low. And I'm not 100% saying this is going to happen or nothing, guys. I'm just giving you guys some ideas of some things and some potentials. With that being said, this means Bitcoin then could make new highs later next year, prior to the 18-year real estate cycle collapsing. All right. And the reason I think this is going to happen, and the reason why, even if we are going to go, and like I said, I don't think we're going into no extended bear market. I think what we're doing is a major cycle correction, but it's hard to say if these bull runs are actually still intact. You have all these people with these 4-year cycle theories, guys, and I think a lot of that 4-year cycle stuff isn't as relevant as it was back in 2013 and 2017 and 2021. Because the whole idea of the 4-year cycle was because the Bitcoin halves every 4 years. This allows, or this basically creates a deflationary mechanism inside of Bitcoin. So less Bitcoin are mined, and since less Bitcoin are mined, there's more demand because adoption continues to grow, and Bitcoin's price goes into a supply crunch. And then from that supply crunch and Bitcoin's price appreciating, retail comes into crypto, they buy Bitcoin, and then they reinvest into alts, and it goes down it flows down. We have never really had that at all this cycle, guys. We've had very small pockets of outperformance, but not like that retail frenzy that usually comes into these markets. So with that being said, I'm watching this very closely, guys. Like I am. That's why I didn't make a video yesterday, because I was watching this thing so closely, and I'm wanting to try to give it some time and not panic, because right now I also know the herd is usually wrong. And since the whole entire herd now is flipped bearish and everybody thinks we're going into a bear market, that actually kind of makes me go bullish, all right? Because I know also they have to come at least sweep this liquidity and at least knock out some of these shorts before allowing this market just to fully roll over. Because these guys are so heavy in profit, you're going to allow these guys to continue to print. And we know if you don't want to pay the longs, you're going to liquidate them. they're going to come get the shorts. So I have a feeling from this zone, this is where the first of the two relief rallies will come. We'll get like a mini relief rally, which is just some relief on the market, where we'll probably come into our next rejection zone. And then this is what's going to carry us down to the next zone that I think we actually bounce from and do the recovery from. So what we would want to do is we want to watch this over the next 2-3 days. When we start showing some weakness in this little mini pump that we're going to get, that's when we need to be exiting our bags, going into capital. I will personally be lending my capital out. I will put all my cash inside of Morpho so I can at least earn some capital on it while we're waiting for the market to find its bottom. All right. And during that time, I'll be preparing a list of new altcoins that I will personally be looking to accumulate during this time. There's some altcoins that I didn't get in on this last run up that I won't miss out on the next time, that I think are really relative narratives that are not going away. One is the privacy tokens like Zcash, that would be one. And then you also have the perp dexes. So you've got a few decisions that you can make with that. I'll probably go with Base. Those would be two things that I would look to add into my portfolio. Obviously, stablecoin protocols. There's some stuff that I might even remove from my portfolio. And I will let you guys know that if I make that decision. If and when I do have to do a reconstruction, I will fully let you guys know what I'm looking to really get into. Because again, guys, I know even some guys that are holding bags from last year, and it sucks. It does. And with crypto and in risk assets, the number one thing for everybody right now is to not focus on like I'm about to take a loss. Look at it like you're an investor inside of a market that you're planning to participate in the next 5 to 10 years. And right now, when you first got in, was in the middle of the transition period. So you're gonna have to eat a little bit of shit for it to make sense. Guys, I didn't make money in this market the first 2-3 years I was in it. I didn't. I just simply didn't. Because I accumulated during the bear market and I didn't see profit until we broke out. And the bear market last time was extended, which is also another reason why I think this bull run is extended. I think they kind of go together. So with that being said, I didn't make no money the first 3 years I was in this market, guys, at all, not a cent. I was actually at a loss. Or what would happen is the market would pump, I'd be up a little bit, then the market would dump, I'd be down a little bit. Market would pump, and until October of 23 is when I made my first money. And I was off Solana. When I bought Solana, I had 350 of them. I bought them for $20 a piece. I sold them at 67. It was a huge mistake. I wish I would have never sold it, but that was my first experience making some real gains. And it took me eating shit a while to do that. So just to try to kind of bring some confidence in this, guys, for you guys, because I get seeing your denomination of cash go down as far as your portfolio size, but your tokens are still your tokens. 3,000 SUI tokens are 3,000 SUI tokens, regardless of what the dollar amount to those are. Don't forget that. And the assets that we're investing in, these are blue chip assets. Like, these aren't just, we're not investing in shit coins, meme coins that will never come back, and we're just hoping. No, we're investing in things that fundamentally provide value and complement the entire upgrade of the financial rail systems in the world, guys. All of them. And equally, bringing every single commodity, equity, stock, everything in the real world on chain. Everything is going digital. And you're in the middle of that. I think Luke said the digital gold rush. And this is what he means by that, guys. This is the digital gold rush. So imagine like you were back in the 1800s and you actually were like going out to California to go get gold. Do you think it was easy at first? Do you think the guys that got out there was just easy? Like, no, they had to eat shit for a while until they found the gold. And then once they found it, that's when things started to take off. But guess who made the money first? The early adopters that went out and mined the gold and the people that provided the shovels. All right? So that's just a little lesson in life and a little lesson in business. With that being said, guys, we have 11 hours for the daily close. I've seen Bitcoin move 6% in an hour before, 7% in an hour before. All right? Just to let you know how fast the market can move in the opposite direction. And I'm also in the camp that if Bitcoin closes like literally like just if it can be mostly a wick and just a little close underneath of this, then the next week has a big opportunity to be able to hurry up and suck back up and get back above that 50-day EMA, and there's just a little wick that hangs out. And if that's the case, we don't sell our bags. We hold our stuff because we know that it was just a fake out. Something similar to how these were, because during those weeks, during that time, people were saying the same thing they were saying right now. So again, guys, I know this is a little bit longer of a video. I know today is critical. I know everybody's watching things. Definitely keep your notifications on. I will keep you guys updated in every step of the way. You know, we're just in the beginning of our journey, guys. Don't get scared. Don't panic. This is what the market makers want you to do. They want to scare people. They want to scare participants. They want you guys to exit because they need to get your tokens. Without your tokens, they can't accumulate no more, guys. They need retail's tokens. And retail, and what is essentially happening is early investors and token holders are essentially, we see it all on chain. It's just a shift. It's going from retail to institution. Institutions aren't selling. It's only retail. All retail, guys. It's like literally 90, it's like 90 some odd % dominated by retail selling currently. So keep that in mind too, guys. So keep a notification on. Talk to you soon.